If you're looking to add a touch of cinematic flair to your digital images, have you thought about using a black mist filter? I recently used the NiSi Black Mist filter for X100 series cameras on my Fujifilm X100V. I took a series of before and after shots in Brisbane and Sydney, and today I'll show you those images. But before I show you the photos, you might be wondering what exactly is a black mist filter. So here is the description from the NiSi website. Black mist filters add an ethereal glow around light sources while preserving the clarity of images. The filter reduces contrast, blooms and softens the light from strong light sources while smoothing blemishes without affecting color balance. So here is the filter from NiSi for the X100 series, nice and light and small. It works very simply. The filter has a fine layer of black specks that diffuse light and soften highlights and contrasts. You can't really see too much. I mean, it doesn't look like there's anything on the filter there at all to the naked eye, but then again, I haven't got very good eyesight up close. Black mist filters come in different strengths. So typically you'll see 1/8, 1/4 or 1/2 strength on filters when they're sold in shops or on the filter itself. So just look out for that. Obviously the smaller the number, like a 1/2 strength, is a lot stronger than say the 1/4 strength or the 1/8 strength. The X100 series filter I used is 1/4 strength. The filter is super easy to install. All you need to do is take off the front ring of your X100 series camera, put it somewhere safe, don't lose it, and then you can screw in your NiSi Black Mist filter onto your camera. So let's start taking a look at the photos. For each set of photos, I'll show you the photo first without the filter, then second of all, I'll show you the photo with the black mist filter. So when we were in Sydney in January, we went out to Milson's Point, the other side of the harbour from where we were staying at Circular Quay, short ferry ride, and of course at Milson's Point is the world famous Luna Park. Luna Park was closed though. Luna Park was closed in the middle of summer. We couldn't believe it. I think they weren't opening on a Wednesday night or something like that. But here you go. You've got the nice sort of Ferris wheel here and you've got some nice lights here. So even though the park was closed, I was able to take this photo. So that's on the X100V without the filter. And then of course here next up, you can see the effect of the black mist filter. It's pretty striking, isn't it? All those amazing sort of lights there on the Ferris wheel. And yeah, they've got a real glow to them, really interesting look there. The next photo here is the face at Luna Park. If you're not familiar with Luna Park, it's got this kind of face at the entrance, very well known face. I'm not showing the complete face here because it's kind of big and I was quite close here, but you've got the eyes and sort of, I guess that's the hair, isn't it, above the eyes. So this is the first photo here, this is the before photo. And then here is the after shot. So there's a bit of a difference there, probably not a major, huge difference though, like the Ferris wheel, but there is still definitely more of a subtle one for that one. The third shot, again, it's quite subtle. I'm shooting at quite high ISOs here. I think this is like ISO 6400 or something like that because it was very dark. So this is Sydney Harbour Bridge, waiting for the ferry to take us back to Circular Quay. And the first one here, you've got the lights there. You can just see on Sydney Harbour Bridge there, the lights. And then the second one, there's definitely more of a glow to those lights. There's not a real huge effect from this filter in this particular photo. I'm not sure why that is. Perhaps it was because the lights were quite far away. We'll see in a few photos coming up where the filter does have a much stronger effect when the light sources are closer. Here, the bridge is obviously quite a distance from me. And yeah, it's sort of quite a subtle effect here, the effects of the black mist filter. After we got back to Circular Quay, we walked back to our hotel, and our hotel had like a parking lot and had this sign, a neon sign in the parking lot, which I absolutely loved. So it's an open sign. So here it is here, the open sign, close up of the open sign in the car park. Looks pretty cool. The colors look great. And then look at that glow. That glow looks amazing. I love this. So here you can see the sort of effect of the black mist filter really well. You know, it's quite sort of subtle in some of the photos I've showed you before this, but here it gives it that open neon sign a real lovely sort of cinematic glow to it. I really, really like it. If you're enjoying this video, I would love it if you gave it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. There's other ways of supporting my channel. If you really love my content, you can send me a super thanks here on YouTube. I haven't had one yet, so you could be the first person to give me a super thanks. There's also details in the video description on how you can buy me a coffee. I would love that. And I also have a free weekly photography newsletter, so make sure you sign up, mattlovescameras.substack.com. So far, I've done issues about the X100V shooting in Australia's capital city of Canberra. I've done issues on the Minolta TC1 in Sydney, and I've also got a nice little series there on a new photo project I'm doing about clotheslines here in Australia. So make sure you sign up, mattlovescameras.substack.com. So the next lot of photos I'm going to show you are from when I was back in Brisbane, probably about a week later, and we went to a place called Eat Street Markets, which is a very popular place where there's all food trucks and entertainment and cool stuff like that. And there's also lots of cool neon signs, which I absolutely adore. So here you go. Here is a picture of a pineapple at a bar. And then the second one here, you can just sort of see around the head of the pineapple, there is more of a glow from that green neon sign. So it's not a huge difference, but there is definitely a difference there. This next photo is probably the photo out of all of them which has the biggest effect of the filter. So here is my beautiful daughter. She is in front of these like neon signs and sort of posing for me here in a photo under duress. She didn't want me to take a photo, but you know, if you want the food and you want the milkshakes, you gotta pose for dad for a couple of photos now and again, you know what I'm saying? So here she is here looking beautiful. And then look at this next photo. There's a real dreamy sort of cinematic sort of glow to the photo. I'm not actually sure which one I like best. I think they both look great. I think it depends on your taste which one you like best. Do you like the super clear one, or do you like the dreamy ethereal light sort of photo? I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment. Tell me which photos you like best. The next photo was from when we were leaving Eat Street. We got there when it was still light and we were leaving when it was dark. And right at the entrance there is a nice sort of welcoming, neon sign saying hello. So here is the one without the filter. It looks pretty cool. And then here is the one with the filter. And you can see like just that glow around the neon light looks really cool. And yeah, the light looks more diffused and it looks softer and less contrasty. And the last set of example photos I'm going to show you was taken in Wynnum, one of my favorite places to take photos here in Brisbane, on Brisbane's Bayside. And there's a really cool little alleyway with a mural and some really cool fairy lights. Now, it was actually dark when I took this photo. Usually I like taking this photo on film. If you've seen any of my other videos where I shoot film, I've taken quite a few shots of this place before, my Contax T3 and Fujifilm Natura and other cameras. But this time I took it on the X100V. It was a little bit dark. I would have preferred a bit more color in the sky, but here you can see it with the X100V. It still was like a dark sort of inky blue there in the sky, and you've got the nice fairy lights and the yellow from the lights there. And here it is with the Black Mist filter. What do you think of that? Do you love that? Do you hate it? I'd love to know. I think it does give it a really cool cinematic look. I mean, again, I think whether you prefer the look of the Black Mist filter or you prefer the look without the filter, it's all down to personal taste and what you like best. But I think it does definitely give it a really interesting, cool look. Now I do have one tip for you if you want to use this filter on your X100 series camera. When I was taking photos and I was screwing the filter on and off all the time, I did notice at Sydney Harbour, I looked through the viewfinder and I got a real shock. Everything was like zoomed in and I thought, what is going on here? It's got a 23mm lens, which is 35mm full frame equivalent lens. Everything was really zoomed in. Of course, I very quickly realized that when I was screwing off the filter, it actually engaged the lens ring there, which engages the digital teleconverter. So if you're going to take a series of photos with and without the filter, you might want to go into your menu settings and go to the lens ring setting and make sure the digital teleconverter is not engaged. Otherwise, you'll get a bit of a shock when you look through the viewfinder. So if you like the look of the Black Mist filter, you might be wondering how much these cost. Well, this one here, the X100 series filter from NiSi, cost around $70 US. Now I got mine a little bit cheaper. I think it was $60 US because I got it at Christmas when there was a bit of a sale on. Now for the X100 series, you can get them in black and in silver. I got mine in silver to match my silver X100V. Now, if you have other cameras that you want to use a black mist filter on, don't worry, because NiSi also sell a range of black mist filters in all different strengths and all different filter sizes. And of course, there are other companies as well that sell these kind of filters. So you have a look around, see which one takes your fancy, and try one out and have a bit of fun. If you have a Fujifilm X100 series camera, this is a must-have accessory. It's relatively cheap, it's light, it takes up no room in your kit bag, really good build quality, and it gives your photos a unique, cinematic, dreamy look. So there you go, there are my series of photos taken on the X100V with and without the NiSi Black Mist filter. What did you think? I would love to hear. Make sure you leave me a comment down below and tell me which photos you liked best.